Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 10, text 23. रुद्राणां शङ्कराक्षस्मि वित्तेशो यक्षराक्षसां वसूनां पावकाक्षस्मि मेरुशिखरिणामहम्. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. For all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of Wealth, Kuvera. Of the Vasus, I am Fire, Agni. And of the mountains, I am Meru. A small purport by Prabhupada. There are 11 Rudras, of whom Shankar, Lord Shiva, is predominant. He is the incarnation of the Supreme Lord, in charge of the modes of ignorance in the universe. Among the demigods, Kubera is the chief treasurer, and he is a representation of the Supreme Lord. Meru is a mountain famed for its rich natural resources. So here Krishna is saying, Rudranam Shankarachasmi, for all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Vittesha Yaksha Rakshasam, among Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am Vittesha. Vittesha means the Lord of the Wealth, which is referred to the Kuber, the treasurer of the demigods. So this Kubera among the Yakshas and Rakshasas, he has achieved this position as a treasurer. Vasunam Pavaka Shasmi. Among the Vasus, I am the Pavaka. Pavaka means fire. So there are 8 different type of Vasus. Among all those Vasus, the fire represents Krishna. Fire is very special, very pure, and also considered as the mouth of Lord Vishnu. Whenever we perform any fire sacrifice, we offer oblations into the fire. So the understanding is when we offer anything into the fire, we are offering it into the mouth of Lord Vishnu. So fire transports whatever is being offered, it transports to the Supreme Lord. So this fire is the mouth of Lord Vishnu. And here Krishna is saying that among all the Vasus, I am the fire. Uh, Bhishma Deva was one of the Vasus. In fact, the Uddhava is one of the Vasus. So these Vasus are, the different demigods. And when Lord comes, takes the incarnation in this world, then he sends forth all his servants and associates to make the arrangements. So Uddhava, being as one of the Vasu, he also appeared in the form of Uddhava. So Uddhava is also one of the Vasus. So Krishna is saying here, Vasunam Pavaka Shasmi. Meru Shikharinamaham. Among all the Shikharinam, among all the mountains, I'm the Mount Meru. So this Meru mountain represents Krishna. And Prabhupada is writing here that Meru is a mountain famed for its rich natural resources. And this Meru, we find that description in the Bhagavatam. It is made out of gold. Mount Meru, Meru Parvat. And it is very, very expanse, very wide, very big in size. The size has been described in the scriptures as 84,000 tall and 34,000 wide yojanas. One yojan is equal to 8 miles. So you can imagine 84,000 multiplied by 8. That tall, that many miles tall, and 34,000 multiplied by 8, that many miles it is wide. So this is the size of this Mount Meru. In fact, we find the description we hear in the Bhagavatam. This Gajendra's pastimes happen on the Trikut Parvat, which was in the valley of that Mount Meru. So Krishna is saying, among all the mountains, I am this Mount Meru. So anything opulent we see in this material world, it represents Krishna. And then Rudranam Shankarachasmi, among all the Rudras, I am the Shankar. I am Lord Shiva. So Prabhupada explains here there are 11 Rudras, of whom Shankar, Lord Shiva, is predominant. He is the incarnation of the Supreme Lord in charge of the modes of ignorance in the universe. So among all the Rudras, who is this Rudra? So in the beginning, or maybe before the creation, this Brahmaji got the inspiration from the Supreme Lord. He performed the austerities, and by the power of that austerity, he got the knowledge in the heart. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavai. So then Brahma was appointed by the Supreme Lord for the creation. So Brahma was engaged in creation. So initially, Brahma begat these four sons, became famous as four Kumaras. And then Brahma asked them to populate the world. But these four Kumaras, they are not interested in any kind of familial engagements, but they want to pursue for their spiritual progress the path. So they denied the request of Brahmaji. So Brahmaji, he became very angry, very upset. So when Brahma was angry, he was trying to curb, but he couldn't curb his anger. And finally, that anger came out in between his eyebrows. It came out in the form of this bluish reddish child. Child came out in between the eyebrows of Brahmaji, and the child was crying. So this cry is called Rodan or Rudra. So the child came out crying. So Brahmaji first pacified the child. After pacifying, he gave him the name as Rudra. So he gave him the name, gave him the places also where and all he should stay. The Bhagavatam describes that. And then he further expanded himself into 11, became the 11 Rudras. Right. And then all these Rudras, they married the different wives, the different, the names of different wives of 11 Rudras are also there. And then Lord Shiva and the Parvati, they live in Shivlok. So then Lord Brahma asked this Lord Shiva to help him in creation, create the progeny. So this Rudra, he created many living entities. But then Brahmaji realized that all these living entities which has been created by Rudra, they're very dangerous. They started devastating the entire creation, from their fiery eyes. They're, they're creating the devastation. They in fact attacked Brahmaji. And Brahma was perplexed. He came to Rudra and he says, please immediately stop creating this kind of the living entity of this nature. The idea was to create creation, but they are bringing the annihilation. Please stop them. And better you go to the forest and engage yourself in meditation. So this is what is the Rudra is. In the Srimad Bhagavatam also, Lord Shiva has been glorified. Nimnagaman, Nimnaganam Yatha Ganga, among all the rivers, as the Ganga is glorified, among all the scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam is glorified. In the same way, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, among all the Vaishnavas. Vaishnava means the devotee of Lord Krishna or Vishnu. So among all the devotee, the topmost devotee is Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Lord Shiva has been considered as the topmost devotee of Lord Vishnu. And this is the understanding of the devotees of Lord Krishna. Many times, devotees are blamed that you accept only Krishna, you doesn't respect other personalities. Or in fact, they say that, this Hare Krishna devotee, they disrespect Lord Shiva. But that is not the truth. Devotees respects everyone. Shiva, Brahma, they're all great personalities. Devotee, in fact, learn to respect when a common man, even an ant, that is a symptom of a devotee. So it's not that devotee doesn't respect Lord Shiva. They respect him as per his position given in the scriptures, specifically in the Srimad Bhagavatam, as Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. So devotee treats, respects, offer their obeisances to Lord Shiva as the one of the greatest Vaishnava, and we seek the blessings of the greatest Vaishnava, Lord Shiva. That's so much devotion you have for the Supreme Lord. Please shower your blessings. Please shower your glance. So, by the mercy of this great Vaishnava Lord Shiva, we can also have a drop of the devotion that he carries. So, it's a false blame that devotee doesn't respect Lord Shiva. We respect Lord Shiva as the greatest Vaishnava. Right. And this Shiva has been explained as one of the avatar of the Supreme Lord. So there are six categories of different categories of incarnations has been described in the scriptures. It's called the Purusha avatar. So the Supreme Lord, he comes in different incarnation as Purusha avatar. He becomes three different types of Vishnu. So he becomes Karanadakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Chiradakshay Vishnu. This is called the Purusha avatar. Another category of avatar is Leela avatar. So Lord takes many, many forms to perform the pastimes. Lord Rama, Narasimha, Varaha, and like that, many, many. There are 24 incarnations are given in the Bhagavatam. But also Bhagavatam explains Avatara hi asankhya. There are asankhya avatar, there's innumerable incarnations. So these are called Leela avatar. So there is a Purusha avatar, there is Leela avatar, then there is a Guna avatar of the Supreme Lord. So when Lord comes in the form of Guna avatar, then he becomes Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. So Lord Shiva is Guna avatar. There are three gunas predominantly in this creation: Sadagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. And these three personalities that become the in charge of these different gunas. So Brahma become the in charge of mode of passion, Rajagun. And with the help of this Rajagun, he engages in creation. And then the Supreme Lord Vishnu, he becomes in charge of the mode of goodness, and then he takes the responsibility of maintenance. Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya. So creation is done by Brahmaji by the mode of passion, and then maintenance is done by Lord Shiva with the help of he becomes in charge of this mode of goodness, and then Lord Shiva he take the charge of this mode of ignorance for the annihilation, for the pralaya. So he is one of the Gunavatar. So there Purusha Avatar, Leela Avatar, Gunavatar, then there Manvandara Avatar. Brahmaji is one day, there is thousand Mahayugas and there are 14 Manus comes. So these are all different Manvantara avatars. Then there is Yoga avatar in different yogas, Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug, Kali Yuga. Lord comes in different forms, in different colors. So they're called the Yoga avatar. And then there is Shakti Avesh avatar, some empowered personality that Lord sends for his mission. So they're called the Shakti Avesh avatar. So like that, there are six categories of different avatars are there. And then Lord Shiva is the Guna avatar. Brahmaji is also the Guna avatar, right? But there is a difference between Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. We have to carefully understand that. Uh, Lord Brahma is considered as one of the Jiva Tattva. He is one of the living entity. Of course, he is the chief living entity in the creation. But Lord Shiva is not a living entity. He is in itself is a tattva called Shiva Tattva. So it is not easy to understand this Shiva Tattva, but our scriptures explains that Lord Shiva is between the Vishnu Tattva and the Jiva Tattva. In between, the Shiva Tattva is there. When the Supreme Lord, uh, the Supreme Person of Godhead, Lord Vishnu Krishna, when he decided to come here in this material world, then he doesn't directly contact this material nature. He does that with the agency of Lord Shiva. So the part that is played by Lord Shiva during the creation is more fully explained in the Brahma Samhita. It has been explained there in the Brahma Samhita. Chiram yatha dadi vikar visesha yogat sanjayate nahi tata pratagasti heto yashambhutam tata samupati karyan govindamadi purusham namaham bhajami. So Lord Shiva's position has been described in the Brahma Samhita is Chiram yatha dadi vikar vishesha yogat. Like the milk, when it is contacted by some sour agent, it turns into yogurt. So yogurt is definitely it is milk, but at the same time it doesn't have the all the qualities of the milk. So it is different from the milk, but at the same time it is not different. It is milk, it's a milk product, but it has the different qualities. So like that, this Lord Shiva's position has been described here. So in the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that Lord Krishna, the Lord of Gokul, which is the topmost planet in the spiritual sky, and Lord Krishna is the supreme Godhead. So the very self of eternal ecstasies, he is engaged in the Golok Vrindavan, in the enjoyments of the transcendental realm, and has no association with the mundane, illusory material energy. He does not stop his spiritual engagements when he intends to create the material manifestation. He merely sends his glance over the deluding energy in the form of his time potency. Krishna's expansion in the form of Mahavishnu in the causal ocean carries this glance to the material energy. This glance from Mahavishnu is the efficient cause of the creation. The dim halo of this glance, the reflected effulgence, is Shiva in his form as Shambhu, who is a symbol of masculine, mundane procreation. It is through this form of Shiva that the Supreme Lord associates with the material energy. Supreme Lord does not directly contact this material energy. Through Lord Shiva, he associates with this material energy. In his role as Shambhu, he is the principle by which Mahavishnu impregnates the material nature with the seeds of the innumerable living entities. Otherwise, the supreme being, has no association with the material energy. So, this is the position of Lord Shiva. So, this Lord Shiva confirms in the scriptures says, Aradhananam api sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam param. Among all kinds of worship, Vishnu Aradhana is the supreme. Param Aradhana is because Lord Shiva himself is worshipping Lord Vishnu. He is always sitting in meditation and meditating on the Supreme Lord Vishnu, Krishna. So this is the understanding from the scriptures. So those who says that Lord Shiva is the supreme, because even in the Ramayana, sometimes people quote that Ramayana before Lord Ramchandra went for the fight with Ravan, he worshipped Lord Shiva. Right? It was done in Rameshwaram. So people say even Lord Ramchandra is worshipping Lord Shiva. So Shiva is the supreme. But there is understanding even in the scriptures that first of all, this incident of Lord Ramchandra worshipping Shiva is not supported in the original Valmiki Ramayana. It seems to be found in a later version of Ramayana. That's one. And the second, if you consider that yes, he worshipped Lord Rama worshipped Lord Shiva, he worshipped out of etiquette because he was about to fight and kill Ravana, and knowing well that this Ravana is a great devotee of Lord Shiva. So Lord Ramchandra, out of etiquette, he wanted to worship Lord Shiva, take his permission that I'm going to kill this Ravana. So like that, there is this understanding. So the Supreme Lord Krishna is always supreme. Here Lord Shiva is also saying, Aradhana Nama Pi Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param. He is the Supreme Lord and his worship is also supreme. Krishna confirms that in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Matta Sarvam Pravartate, everything emanates from me. So even the source of Lord Shiva, Brahma, everything is original source is Lord Shri Krishna. Sarva Karan Karanam. Krishna is Adi Devam Majam Vibhum Param Dhamam Param Brahmam. So it is confirmed again and again that Lord Krishna is the Supreme and Lord Shiva is the Guna Avatar. Right. So Shiva is a great devotee of Lord Krishna. There's no doubt about that. He is the greatest Vaishnava. He is worshipped. He is glorified as one of the greatest Vaishnava. And the devotees of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, they also worship. They respect Lord Shiva as one of the greatest Vaishnava. And there's many incidents in the scriptures where Lord Shiva has been established as one of the great devotee of Lord Krishna. There is a story of this demon called Vrikasur. He worshipped Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva's another name is Ashutosh, meaning he becomes very easily pleased and satisfied. So, being pleased with this demon's austerity, he asked him that ask for benediction. So, this demon Vrikasura, he asked the benediction that give me the power. If I touch anybody's head, he should just his head should just blast. That person will die. So, Lord Shiva gave him that benediction. But immediately after that benediction, this demon, he wanted to enjoy Mother Parvati. So he thought that I should first finish this Lord Shiva himself so that I can enjoy Parvati. This is the demoniac nature. He received the benediction from Lord Shiva and he wanted to finish Lord Shiva himself. So in that moment, Lord Shiva started running and this demon was chasing. So Lord Shiva goes to the Supreme Lord Vishnu and says, please help me, please protect me. And then the Supreme Lord has to intervene. And he came and he engaged in the conversation with this Vrkasura. And he says, what is the matter? He says, I got this power, I want to test this power. And then, Lord, Supreme Lord, he tricked this demon by saying, from whom you got this benediction? Says, I got it from Shiva. So that Shiva, and you believed that this benediction will act, it will work. I don't believe. He doesn't have the power. Look at him. He's just sitting in some cremation ground, not even properly dressed, and smeared in ash and like that. What power he has to give you this kind of benediction? I doubt whether this benediction is really will work. If you don't believe me, maybe you can just test yourself. You can just touch your head and see if it works or not. So the Supreme Lord tricked this demon, in that word jugglery, and then in that moment he just touched his head, this demon, and then he blasted, he killed. So like that, there's many pastimes found where Lord Shiva has been protected by Lord Krishna. So this is the position, this is the relation between Krishna and Lord Shiva. Right. So one should not try to bring them or equate them on the same level. It is a great offense, and it is confirmed in the scriptures. It is said that yastu narayanam devam brahma rudradi devatai samatveneva viksheta sapashandi bhavidruvam. One who try to bring Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu on an equal platform, that person is called Pashandi. He is considered as an atheistic person who says Lord Shiva is equal to Lord Vishnu. Even Lord Shiva will not be pleased with this. A devotee is never pleased if somebody calls him as the Lord himself. Devotee is more pleased with the designation as the devotee of the Lord. Somebody address him that you are such a nice devotee. So Lord Shiva is such a great devotee. Vaishnava Nam Yatha Shambhu. So like that, and this is the Shiva Tattva. It's been explained by Srila Prabhupada in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and various other, like in the Bhagavatam, we find all these different references in different section of the Bhagavatam. Okay, so I'll stop here. Bhagavad Gita, Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.